Hey, what's up everyone? Kieran here, bringing you another The Thing Is video. So for those of you who don't know what the Thing is it's a video where I essentially take a game that I played, explain the benefits of it or what's good about it in my opinion, but then also go right around and say the thing is, these are the issues that I had with it, and these are the reasons why I stopped playing. A lot of people have been asking me why I stopped playing BNS, why I stopped playing BNS, and that's essentially what I'm making this video for. So, Blade and Soul as a game is it's fairly fairly well designed. Like in terms of the actual feel of the game, it's pretty awesome. The fact that I really didn't have desync like I had in Terra was a breath of fresh air. The combat itself is very skill based, very skill based, where you can always grab a victory even whenever you're at 1%, just by perfectly outplaying and perfectly outmaneuvering or just outthinking your opponent, predicting and landing like really solid catches. Like I had times where I was just like, holy shit, fuck yeah, like I did such a good job right there. Oh wow, that was such a good prediction or a nice catch. And in terms of the game itself, I think it's one of the best competitive 1v1 games out there, especially with it being on computer and things along those lines. However, the thing is, the main reason why I quit Blade and Soul, the main thing that or reason that I quit Blade and Soul was the character progression. The character progression felt super underwhelming. The design of the game was so driven around gold, the like gold, and the issue at hand with that was that there was no. It felt like there were hardly any ways, or there wasn't a very good variety in terms of how to make gold. So let's say you bust ass, right? You bust ass for 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks to finally get your weapon upgrade. Well, that weapon upgrade is actually super underwhelming. You gain 7 power, 20 crit strike, maybe. Like, congrats. Like, honestly, you're really not going to see that big of a difference with just that upgrade. You have to essentially do this 2 week grind or a week and a half grind doing the same dungeons every single day, because it's really the only way to actually make gold, to even inch closer to becoming possibly a little bit more geared or a little bit more better off in comparison. You know, a lot of people say that they enjoy the fact that they're guaranteed something. They're guaranteed to actually progress, you know, their gear after this 2.5 weeks of farming or whatever it may be. However, in my opinion, the games that I've played with RNG factors in comparison with like enchanting or whatever it may be, as long as the gear doesn't break or devalue, de-enchant itself, typically having the satisfaction of being able to do some dailies or run an instance once, right? One an instance one time, an instance one time, right? And then having that one attempt out outweighs, it gives you the chance, it gives you the possibility of increasing your gear, which is on a much more like instant gratification level, which I think is what is better, what holds people to MMOs a lot more effectively. Blade and Soul doesn't do this. Blade and Soul looks at the game and says, we're going to put this in front of you. This is how you upgrade your stuff, and you are going to go for it. You're going to try and farm it. You're going to, hopefully win rolls or outbid other players, and eventually get this gear. The thing is that like people don't want to invest excessive amount of time. People don't want to invest excessive amounts of time for such a minor upgrade. People don't want to feel like they just grinded and got a 1% damage increase, like after they busted their ass for 2 weeks, right? in terms of gold making, because everything is derived from gold in that game. You are not farming all of your stingers. You are not farming all of your moonstones. You are not farming all of these things personally. You might get a couple along the way, but for the most part, you're buying all of these things. You're buying them from the broker, from other players, because everyone's fucking desperate to try and make a little bit of gold so they can buy a little bit closer to their fucking upgrade. Like, also, not to mention, Blade and Soul has done, in my opinion, I don't know, I haven't played in the past, like, month, so I could be horribly wrong here, but whenever I quit, bots were on a fucking rampage. Summoner bots that had goddamn fucking teleport hacks, with iframe hacks, with, like, all this other shit. The fact that there was nothing being done or nothing being even said on the devs ends that to fix this whenever I had quit, I was just like, what the hell? Do they just not care? Obviously they do care. Obviously, you know, they were well aware of the problem and probably trying to fix it. But it was a pain in the ass. It was a pain in the ass. I didn't lose that much to them either. I didn't lose every single time I fought against them, because KFMs are pretty good against them. But, like, it was still really obnoxious, and I knew people that did get gated or you know, screwed over by these bots. Same thing with Destroyer bots. The fact that all these bots were running rampant, constantly doing stuff, regardless of if they were winning, was decreasing the value of soul stones. This was the only method in which PvPers could make money. So that was another thing, is the fact that I felt extremely forced. If I wanted to see, it doesn't really apply all that much, but due to 1v1s being equalized, but I had to make money, you had to pretty much do PvE. It was the only real consistent way, doing dailies, doing PvE. Soulstones got devalued to the point where they're just not worthwhile. And being on Mushin, when I was on Red Faction, basically made it to the point where I couldn't even do faction stuff. The new faction content was literally inaccessible to me because the faction disparity. And nothing is done to fix that. Nothing is done to force or buff the underwhelming faction or anything along these lines. So there was this huge faction disparity between reds and blues to the point where I couldn't even partake in a branch of the game, what half of the other PvP is supposed to be. Okay. So in terms of gearing and whatnot, what I think that should have happened was every single upgrade either needed to get half, maybe even a fourth of what it takes to actually upgrade that weapon. Maybe make the evolutions like 3/4 while the progressions only land like a quarter, something along those lines. But it's just it felt way too intimidating, way too just excessive for me to get such a small upgrade from so much. The only upgrade that I actually felt was a proper scaling, in my opinion, was the scaling of the belt, from the Pirate Belt to the Oathkeeper, where it was probably a 40 to 50 gold investment, and I got 16 power and 150 crit rate. Okay? That's the kind of things that I would be looking for. Or at least, you know, appropriately scaling things to where it felt like I was actually gaining power rather than, you know, fucking putting an extra, like, little pad on my fucking fist weapon. I don't know. It just felt very, very underwhelming. Also, the cash, the way that the cash shop and whatnot has been designed in Blade and Soul was, at first I didn't think it was going to be all too much, but whenever they started introducing these events where each time you would have to buy in each time you would have to buy in to progress and have like more chances to get things, threw me off a little bit. And also, this was really the only way to get the true, like, epic gems. No one and their mother could actually remotely craft those things. The fact that there was essentially an RNG to craft the best gems, and these attempts alone cost around like 250 gold, which is fucking insane, is just stupid in my opinion. You know, for creating a game, that has this clear-cut defined path, and then to add RNG to the more simplistic, or not simplistic, but the side feature, adding this excessive, very very expensive level of RNG, is kind of weird. Granted, I made a lot of money by just transmuting gems and getting lucky, but it's I don't know. I don't like the design of it. I don't like the underwhelming progression that it made my character felt whenever I was like working and busting my ass to actually constantly do content. I didn't like the direction that they took some of the cash shop choices. Yeah, the cash shop events more so. Overall, that's the reason why I quit the game. Those are the reasons why I quit the game. I just got underwhelmed with it. I felt that the progression was way too long for way little reward. The PVE content was fairly easy. Granted, I can't say that I've done all the new content, because Asura is apparently the hardest thing to ever come out. I never even did it, so I'll be honest with you. All right, guys, just wanted to make this video. Hopefully you found hopefully, you know, pick apart my arguments, bitch about it in the comments, or support it in the comments. Just tell me what you're doing in Blade and Soul, what you did that made it more accessible to you, what you did that really cut you off and said, no, this is enough. Just tell me in the comments down below, because I would like to know. I'd like to read. I am going to read all the comments and just kind of see, you know, see what people have to say. So here we go, guys. Once again, also, if you like the Thing Is series, the style in which I have the video, please make sure to leave a like or any suggestions. This was a little bit less formatted in comparison to my Terra one, but I felt like I just needed to get this video out. So, thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch y'all next time. Peace, peace.